Hey everyone, this is Meghna, the co-founder of Teen Chapter. Today we have Tarun, the founder of the project EIFL, Educate India Financially, to give us more insights, to conduct a workshop on LinkedIn for students and networking, how to optimize our LinkedIn profile, and more. So he's also a business administration student and an entrepreneur. So Tarun, the floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you, Meghna. Welcome, everybody. It's great to be here. And before I start, I would just like to take a couple of a minute to talk about how I admire Teen Chapter, the work that they're doing, and they might just be starting out, but I see a very long road ahead for them, and a lot more of successful events, a lot of interesting events, and more people showing up, and just sparking conversations that are important, but also very meaningful. So great work to you and your team, Meghna, and thank you for having me here. I'll just real quick share my screen. Great. So today's topic, we will be talking about networking, and we will talk a bit about LinkedIn and how, as a college student, why is this important for me? How will I do it as a college student? And same thing for LinkedIn as well. We'll start off with networking first, and then we'll move on to LinkedIn. And the way we design that as well is for us to understand the whole concept of networking, number one. And once that, or what we believe is that if that's done in a very nice way, LinkedIn is only a facility and a platform in which you can do it. Now, it's not, before I get into it, just a couple of disclaimers that we'd like to give, a few misconceptions that we have out there. If I have a LinkedIn, I will be focused. If I have a LinkedIn, I have a good network. If I have a LinkedIn, I will be doing this and I'm great. All of them are false. You do not technically need to have a LinkedIn, although it's advisable to have a LinkedIn, because it's just a good platform to know more people out there and to put yourself out there in a better way, to understand what competition is like, and to just be exposed to new ideas. And the second thing is that even if you do have a LinkedIn, it's that the most important part is how do I use it, and how often am I making use of that? And that applies to the same thing as with your network as well. So our course objectives are to understand the importance of networking, what networking is, how do you network as a college student, and how do you find and use your network. And for LinkedIn, on the LinkedIn, we will be covering finding opportunities, optimizing your profile, and using LinkedIn. So let's start off with networking. Networking is, people come up with different ideas and thoughts when they hear the word networking. A few people might be thinking that networking is something that is purely computer science based on IT, where you connect networks or servers on a common platform, and you share data in that way. That is one definition of networking. A few other people think that networking is the connection of people at different places, whether in their local societies or in a global platform. That is a form of networking, and that is a part of networking. But if you really look at the definition, verified definition, it's the activity of meeting people who might be useful to know, especially in your job. Now, your network will not only be useful for you in your job, but in your personal life and for whatever you do. But today we will be talking specifically on the professional end of it. So that is why we included this definition, and that's how we like to define it as well. It is an activity. It's not necessary, it's not compulsory, and it's not something that everybody enjoys as well. That's why it's an activity where you meet people who might be useful to know, and we emphasize on your job because that is why you're doing it on a professional setting. That is why you're meeting them in hopes of either advancing your career or making your daily job easy, or maybe you have a project and you want to know the correct vendor, the correct buyer. That's why you network with people and you use your network to get the best solution, or get better ideas. And to put it in one sentence, it's the activity of meeting people who might be useful to know, especially in your job. This can be within your college, within your office. Maybe if you're working in an MNC, different branches of that office, or different locations of that office. Maybe you're just a student, but you're connecting with somebody. You're a student right now in Sri City, where Korea universities, but you're connecting with somebody in the University of Chicago, a completely different size of the world. So that is networking right there. You're meeting people who might be useful to you, and especially in finding a job. But for a college student, probably finding an internship or a research opportunity, or maybe just getting some guidance as a young person, knowing what to do next, or maybe sharing your ideas for something that you would like to do. So if we dive a bit deeper into networking, it's really a process that we like to say this, and as an organization we really stick to this. It's that when it's done right, it takes serious commitment, time, and hard work. It's like any other thing. You want to play basketball. Why was Kobe Bryant one of the greatest? Why was Michael Jordan one of the greatest? It was a process that they liked, and it was something that they did right. They a lot of commitment, a lot of time and hard work that goes into it. So basic rule of thumb: you want to move forward on anything, or you want to like at least move the change a bit here and there. Serious commitment, time, and hard work. Same thing with networking. It's not rocket science at all. Same thing, and I know at this point of time I might be sounding like just another school lecturer, but let's break it down a bit more, in a more simplified way. It's probably a thing that you love or hate. Some people are extremely social, and some people are, what we call are introverts. So you either love it or you hate it. But the beauty about this is that, or what Tim Sanders says is that your network is your net worth. What does that mean? How is net worth? Net worth is probably something about wealth, how much money I made, the assets that I have under my account. Now, what on earth does people, how is this being connected to my net worth? Probably something which is only called as in monetary terms. Well, that's absolutely correct what Tim Sanders is saying. And what we're all thinking that, or what a lot of us might be understanding of net worth for it to be only a financial stigma, or to be, to state it as only of something which is related to finance, is absolutely wrong, because net worth is it's beyond that. Your net worth is essentially probably something, wealth creation and what you build over time, but it's also what you're being reciprocated as in the society, and what you build over time as well. So absolutely your network will be your net worth. The more people you know, the more connections and contacts that you have to get the job done, to or to connect people in the right way. That is very important. That's a life skill which a lot of companies look to have if you're looking for a day job, or it's an essential skill for you to be a successful entrepreneur. So that, in a nutshell, is what networking is. It's defined as the activity of meeting people who might be helpful to you, especially in your job. And it's a process which needs to be done right. And it can only be done right when you have serious commitment towards it, and you take some time out for it, and you work hard on it. So I want to go back to that second point right there. How do I put serious commitment to that? How do I take the time out to it? And how do you work hard on it? We'll cover that over here. So now we understood how important networking is, and we understood a bit of what the concept of networking is. How do I build it? Or, how do I put time to it? First things first is understand your settings around you, and then think about, connect the importance to it. You're in college right now, so connect that to the importance right now. You're working right now, connect that to your importance. Maybe you're retired and you're looking of starting your own business, or you're looking of just probably meeting more people, connect that to importance again. The importance keeps on changing at different points of your life. But again, the basic concept of networking remains the same. Your needs might be different as you move forward, but it's the same process, same time that you would invest in it, and same amount of hard work, if not a bit more at different stages of life, usually in the earlier stages of life. So it leads to the exchange of ideas. That's pretty self-explanatory right there, right? I'm talking with you. You're understanding what my ideas are. You're understanding what I think of networking, what I think of LinkedIn, and you're getting my ideas. You're able to understand what's my idea behind all of this whole thing. So that right there, maybe your knowledge is getting increased, or a couple of questions are sparked in your mind, which lead to you being curious and searching online, or talking with more people. So that right there, it's a very simple thing, leads to the exchange of ideas, but that's it's a very deep process as well. Once ideas are exchanged, it's a beautiful thing, because that's what happens when you take a room, or if you think of a very successful government, or let's go back to 1774. That's when the United States got their independence, right? So when they were sitting down, all the lawmakers, all those people writing the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence is what they call the document. What did they do over there? They got some of the brightest minds of the US, some really cool people who worked so hard to get that nation its independence. And they were exchanging ideas over there in the form of that document called the Declaration of Independence. So that network that they built over there basically were the foundations of what we see as a superpower today in the United States of America. Now that's a very far beyond example that we're looking at. But again, if you look at it in a very simple way through your shoes, probably what you do on a day-to-day basis. Let's say you're a college senior, just entering your final year. Maybe it's your third year or fourth year or fifth year of whatever studies you're doing. You might be confused. Do I want to immediately continue my studies, or I want to stop right now? I want to take a break. I want to start my own business, or should I just, probably try to get a good job during my placements over there? Who would you want to talk to at this point of time? You have three thoughts running through your mind over there. Those are your ideas. But maybe you would want to expand beyond and talk to a few people who might have a bit more of experience than you, or a bit of expertise in all these three fields here. So you will probably reach out to a professor, a trusted mentor, or maybe someone that you know and that you trust who has a couple of answers. So right over there, you exchange ideas. And with this exchange of ideas, it helps you meet people at all professional levels. You might be a doctor right now, but you will probably meet somebody who's very good at administration and at management. Where is that going to be helpful right now? Like, I study at Manipal University, and I'm studying business administration. But I have quite a few friends at KMC. KMC is the medical college over here. So how on earth is business administration even related to healthcare, or probably somebody in the field of medicine? It's very related, because in the future, I have a couple of ideas on making India's healthcare system, or building equitable healthcare systems in this country. So who would I want to meet? I can meet policymakers. I can meet people in the government. I can meet businessmen. I can meet producers in pharma, or I can meet people from the pharma industry. But eventually, it will come down to at least a couple of conversations with somebody who's a doctor, or who's probably working with these healthcare in rural areas to make it more equitable, right? So right over there, I am exchanging ideas with them. I am informing them about what I want to do, how I want to change it in the business model. And they in turn are telling me about the problems that they face as people with hands-on experience with the day-to-day activity in this industry. And probably they can also give me some insight of what people are, what challenges that they face in these rural areas. So that is how important, and that's one awesome thing about networking as well, is that regardless of what you do, even if you're jobless, even if you're a student, a high school student, heck, even a middle school student, and you meet somebody who's probably 30 years old, 50 years old, and they're doing pretty well in their field. You never know when they will be of value to you, and you always must value the inputs that they give you, because that's always going to be helping you grow professionally, and it gives you more knowledge. So that's largely what the second point covers. Now, the first 2 points, the one thing that we have common in the first 2 points is that you talk a bit more, but you listen a lot. You talk a bit more, but you listen a lot more. So with that really helps you boost your professional and personal confidence. Personal confidence, in my opinion, because for those of you who might be socially awkward, or for those of you who just prefer to rather, sit this one out, or be a behind the scenes person, as they call it, it actually allows you to, or it gives you a better understanding of when to talk and when to listen, or when to sit back, right? And these are all things which you might get, you can read it on a book, from a book, or you might see somebody do it, but it really only develops in you when you practice it, right? So that's how widespread, and that's how professionally and personally networking can really help you grow. And again, coming back to our initial definition of networking: serious commitment, time, and hard work. These only give you discipline towards that, right? So, and when are you confident? When you're disciplined within yourself, when you know who you are, and when you know what you want to do, your speech becomes much more clear. You know what sentence or message that you want to give out there to a crowd or to a person. And that's essentially what that does. Because again, connected back to the first point, if you want to exchange ideas, let's say you get a 5-minute meeting with the president of India, and you want to talk about the education system. Are you going to probably explain your whole business model, which is going to take 30 minutes or even 2 hours? Or would you rather want to, bring down your speech to whatever is the most unique part of your idea, and how important and how impactful it is? That's probably given in 5 minutes. So that's why you're exchanging ideas over there, and your speech becomes much more confident right away. It becomes much more clear right over there. So a lot of things that are being connected right there. The fourth thing. Now, this is a new term that we're talking about: social capital. Social capital, according to Investopedia, is basically defined as a positive product of human interaction. So when we say a positive product of human interaction, it's not exactly a product what you buy, but it's basically the outcome of when you are able to have a successful or a meaningful or just a good conversation with another human being. And again, going back to the second point, you meet people at all professional levels. So your social capital is just going up, one up every day, one up every day. So capital, if you look at that, the definition of capital in the world of business, it's basically essentially money, and it's what you initially invest to get your idea, your service, or your product to your audience, and it's what keeps your business moving forward at the initial stages. So social capital is your value that you put in, and it's what you only grow over time. And this happens when you interact with more people. So going back to that definition of your network is your net worth, what we like to say is that the more you network, the more you talk with new people, the more you exchange your ideas, the more your confidence is growing up at a professional and personal level, your social capital also increases, and it's vice versa. You don't do that, pretty much, it's very highly likely that your social capital remains the same, and your network, well, that's self-explanatory. It's not really going anywhere. So social capital is one thing that you would like to keep in your mind. You don't want to go out and boast by saying that I know these many people or I have these many LinkedIn connections, but rather, as probably a much more calm person, understand that within yourself, okay, I want to get this job done. This is the person I have to go. So my social capital has actually improved over the past 3 years. Like when I joined college, I didn't know where to get an internship, but right now I'm done from college, and I really would like to explore a bit more about fintech. I know exactly where I want to go, or I know the right person who can connect me with more people on that. So that gap of right when you're a freshman to a senior, or after you graduate from college, your social capital has increased so much that you went from having literally zero to now having options of where you want to go and how you want to go as well. So that, again, coming back to our previous slide, your network is your network. Right. It's your ability to network of authentic personnel and professional relationships, but it's not your finance capital. It's the most important asset in your portfolio. Now, we're using the word portfolio here because we were talking about social capital, and your network is your net worth. So your net worth, a large part of it usually comes out of your personal portfolio, the assets that you have under it. But right now, we're not looking at the finance side of it. We're only looking at your social side of it and professional side of it also as well. So that's how it's judged, or that's how. And by judge, we're not talking about public judgment here. Nobody's going to look at or probably some people might not even understand what you're talking. This is something for you to self-reflect on and for you to understand where you stand. So that's how that's a good way to look at social capital, and that's a good way for you to just sit down and understand where you are as well. It's very important to have timelines as well, like timelines like history timelines. At this particular year, that was the first year the man went on the moon. We had a man on the moon. And this particular year, we sent a rover on Mars. And this particular year, we'll have people on the moon. So like that, that's a timeline, right? So the same way you want to keep your timeline, not at those many intervals, but probably a 6-month gap or a one year gap. Or if you want to keep it, much shorter way and you want to really work on yourself, keep it at monthly gaps or 3-month gaps. That way, you can really estimate your social capital. So the point that we're all looking forward to, how do I network as a college student? First, make use of all your surroundings and resources. So what do we mean by surroundings and resources? We're talking about all student organizations, all student clubs, any available volunteering places that you can. And most important, all right, most importantly, your professors. Your professors and anybody that's coming in as a guest lecturer or, a keynote speaker or somebody as a chief guest, make sure to get in touch with them, okay? Make sure you do that because these are all in your surroundings and these are provided to you as resources by your college, all right? And you are a college student. So they are your resources and they are your surroundings. So don't give yourselves the excuse that, oh, I don't take a class with that professor, or, oh, I was sitting all the way in the last seat when we had that Nobel Prize winner come and give us a guest lecture on economics. Or, man, I just think I should sit this one out. Man, I think I don't have my friend, he's studying here on a full scholarship. He has his own startup running. I'm just a person who's barely done anything. These people won't get back to me. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to send them an email, you're going to send them a note. They won't get back to you, but it's not like they're taking away your money or they're taking away your time. Maybe a half an hour or 5 minutes, how much of time you put into that message that you're sending, but you're doing it for your betterment. That's your investment that you're keeping. That comes under commitment and time and hard work for you to grow your network. So it's very important that you keep you make use of these small things which a lot of people ignore, right? What do they ignore? A lot of people generally take for advantage their student clubs and student organizations. Student clubs and organizations are a great way for you to know people of fields and ideas of interest. All right, you're interested in policy making, go and join a policy making club, or start a policy making club if you don't have a policy making club. You're interested in finance, go and start a finance club or start a finance club. It's as simple as that. You want to get it done, get it done. It's it's like anything else, networking. It's not rocket science. You put to it, you get it. Put your goal, get it. Something's working, good. It's not working, what's not working? Figure out. Do a lot of self-reflection. All right. Networking is a lot of self-talk as well. You only become confident when you give yourself a lot of self-talk. You have to be your biggest pep man as well. You know, if you don't have confidence in yourself, why on earth should anybody else have confidence in you? That's one thing that you should be keeping up right over there. So your student clubs, you know, if you want to become an actor in the future, or you really like theater, you really like drama, probably explore a bit more over there, because it's highly likely that you will meet somebody who's very talented over there, or you might probably meet the next leader in that field over there, or you might just meet somebody with you might meet there's always a professor supervising that, or you might have events where a speaker comes and speaks over there, and they might be a great value to you. So that's why understand what your interests are and where you want to go before you join clubs. And you don't have to join everything. A couple of clubs, a couple of classes that you might want to take extra at college will really go a long way. So don't go under the impression that it's only for people that can talk well. It's only for people that are not socially awkward. Networking is only for people that are looking to work on themselves, that are looking to push themselves to get the work done, right? So explore your, that's what we just talked about right now. But innovating, freelancing, interning, or researching. What do I mean by innovating? Start your own club, start your own business right now. Because trust me, as a person who started his own organization at the age of 19, and I mean, I'm only 20 right now, so it's not like it's been 4 or 5 years since I started this, but it's been one year and around 3 months since I started this. Guys, the earlier you start, the more advantage you have, because the more mistakes you will make, the more you will learn. And at this stage of life, your risk-taking ability is obviously much higher, but you obviously will have a bit more time on yourself, and this time, without knowing, you will make use to improve yourself and learn new skills. Because right now, I do not have enough capital, nor do I have the type of funding or backing to hire a team of 4 professionals to run a super good website, or to hire 8 different professional teachers with Harvard degrees and Oxford degrees and people that have traveled the world or recognized with the UN or worked with the UN to spread this project all over the world at one time within 1 month. I don't have the resources to do that. So what do I have to do? What's the only option I have? Push myself every day, take out some time, learn a bit every day. I was horrible at website making. So it took me about 1 whole month to learn how to keep updating my website after my friend made it for me, or after one of our workers waited for us. And then I would essentially, I cut that cost. And now I keep doing it every day. I update it on a monthly, or whenever it's needed, I do that. So I learned a skill right over there. So that's how I innovated. And that's how I got to meet more people as well. Because once you innovate, you want to put your ideas out there, right? That you want to get feedback of what you're doing, what you want to do. Because you know, again, as a college student, you're super young. You're very excited, but again, a good choice would probably be to talk with somebody that you trust and that you know will be of value. So that's where networking comes when you want to innovate. Freelancing, you're very good at graphic design, or you know, you're good at digital marketing, or maybe that you're good at baking and you want to take up probably a mini party for a friend of your cousins, or a far-off relative who's having a birthday party, or maybe a wedding, something like that. Start freelancing, because once you freelance, you get more clients or customers. And that way, word of mouth spreads. And word of mouth, we all know, if you're a business student, you know how powerful word of mouth is. Word of mouth is a great way of marketing. It's also the hardest way, because it's purely organic. It's not something which you can do by putting ads. It's not something that you can do by putting in tons of money, but it's rather by putting in a lot of effort and work to get the best product or service from your end, or that what you can make. So that's why freelance, if you want to freelance, make sure that you're interacting a lot with your client, because that goes a long way as well. It's not only customer service or customer rep and a brand identity, but it goes to so much that people from maybe a different city or a country might just hit you up on LinkedIn, asking you for advice, or asking you to talk at an event a couple of months later, or maybe even nominate you for something that you didn't even know existed, or probably just ask you a simple question. And this shows that your social capital is growing. So this is, again, a very good way for you to understand and for you to measure your social capital. Interning. pretty simple to understand that. You go to a new place to work, you have a new boss, new clients, and just new people around you. You would want to do that. Same thing with research. So with research, it's actually something which has to be done right. So if you're in the field of economics or biology or anything, any field of research, you would probably do this with your professor, or you might even conduct independent research, which is completely fine as well. So when you do that, it takes a lot of time. Right? Research is something which happens over the years or over semesters or maybe even over decades. Depends on what you want to do and what you want to research and what you want to prove or what you want to find out. So over there, again, you're not only researching about yourself or a problem. If there's a problem or something that you would like to prove your hypothesis, you ask a lot of people. You send out different questionnaires. You convince them to fill out that questionnaires. You get them on focus groups. You get them on interviews to interact with people, or for you to give your proof and what led you to come to this conclusion. So right over there, you're talking to a lot more people. So when you're in college, make use of these opportunities around you. And again, the worst thing that you can do is to limit yourself only to opportunities that you think are there, but when you do not do your own research. So what is your own research? It's when you're always hungry and you want to find out what's happening over here, what's happening over there. Okay, there's somebody from India representing us at the Youth Envoy, or there was a 16-year-old kid who spoke at COP26 last year. COP26 is the climate change network event that happens every year with the help of the UN. So how can a 16-year-old kid talk about that? I'm super interested about environmental science. I have a few ideas. I would like to be heard as well. So keep networking, keep researching over there. Try to talk to that kid how he got over there, or maybe just keep applying to different competitions, participate in different competitions. This is also when you not only expand your social capital, but you expand your knowledge. All right, you're learning new things. You're forced to learn new things, and again, when you're forced to do it, or in this type of getting forced to do it, you don't even realize what's happening. Cold email people you look up to. So you love Elon Musk. All right, you just love the idea of Tesla, and you really want to find out more about what they're doing with those cars that they're making, or maybe you want to learn a bit more about SpaceX or those solar panels that Elon Musk was behind, building those smart homes and all that, or maybe even Elon Musk's Neuralink organization, which works on something about the brain and medicine, like connecting brain. I'm not really sure about that. So you want to intern over there, or maybe you just want to have a chat with somebody who's of organizational leadership role over there, or maybe you just want to talk with Elon Musk. What do? You cold email them. You're obviously not. It's highly unlikely you'll get their personal contact number or their personal email. But if you go to their websites, or if you go on LinkedIn and find their personal assistants or somebody that works with them, there are good chances that you will find their email. And what do you cold email them? You do not want to be, don't be flattery. Okay, again, that's a great mistake that people will do. I love what you're doing. You're so great, Mr. Elon Musk. This is just an honor for me to do that. Elon Musk knows he's great. Okay, they know what they did. Don't do that. Don't waste their time. You think they're gonna probably want to spend if they read this big, huge email, and they want to spend probably half an hour or 15 minutes for you to chat, just for them to hear you again, to tell them about the work that they did, and to tell them about how great they are, which they probably read on a daily basis or an hourly basis on Twitter, on other social media platforms, on newspapers, in magazines, and whatever mainstream media spreads around. No, they would not want to do that, and I will personally vouch for that. So rather, be genuine, be who you are. Mr. Musk, I really love the concept that you're building about this, but how do you think we can implement? Do you look to implement this in mainstream markets at emerging countries around the world? Or how is it that you think that the logistics is working out for you? Because what you guys do is a very independent way. You guys do not tie up with car dealerships, or there's no third party to be selling, or there seems to be very less marketing done on your end for Tesla cars. But how is this working out? Or probably ask somebody in Tesla that's working with that or along that. They are most likely to get back to you, or the worst thing that can happen is they don't get back to you. But these people, again, generally people do get back to you. They might not get back to you within an hour or a day or maybe in a week, given their schedules, or we don't know what's happening with them, but it's usual that they will get back to you. I have so many cases where I attended different conferences, or there was a particular keynote speaker that I witnessed address an event, or maybe even someone that I really like give a TED talk, or I went through their research paper online. I reached out to them on LinkedIn. Some of them got back to me within 6 hours. Some of them got back to me within a month as well. And All it was just simple. Hi, Tarun. We really appreciate your note. Thank you for the kind words. This is the answer to your question. Or I suggest you to look through this, or probably ask yourself again to get the answer to your question. Or if you want to know about the process, it's very funny, and they tell you a story, and that way you start building a relationship. Okay, so building a relationship, that's probably step 4 or step 5. Step 1 is identifying what you want to do. Step 2 is probably finding that person, where can I reach them. Step 3 is drafting a good message, a very short and crisp but very clear message. And then step 4 is looking for correspondence from there, and then step 5 is taking it on from there. Do you want to send another thank you note saying that thank you for getting back to me, or do you want to ask them out to be your mentor, or probably get on a quick chat or get a few more answers for your questions? So that is the power of cold emailing. Cold emailing is not only something what people send to market, but it's also a great way to build your personal identity. And it's the best thing you can do as a college student, all right? Because you have your college email ID. These are not spam email. I mean, one other mistake that people do, they use their personal email ID. So when I say personal email ID, do not use email IDs that say happysunshine@gmail.com. Nobody will get back to you if you do that. Use your college email ID, okay? The one that you get as a student, probably tarun@learner.manipal.in or .edu, or meghana@kriya.university, whatever it is. It's very professional that when they're most likely to get back to them. And also in their inbox, that is most likely to pop up over there. So again, I know I'm making an assumption, but I would like to bet on it as well. 99.9%, nobody will get back to you if your email is like happysunshine@gmail.com. They're most likely to get back to you if it's your your professional email. So don't make that mistake as well. You're basically wasting their time, and most importantly, your time. Make use of alumni networks. What are alumni networks? Everybody that's passed out from your school or college, or current people within your student body, that is your alumni network. So let's say you have a great idea for a tech startup, and this tech startup is focused on more on developing software. So you want to work with that. So what you would want to do is probably reach out to the head of the alumni network, or somebody, a professor who teaches software development, or a professor that you know. Very simple message and very easy to do, and the most effective thing. It's more effective than cold emailing as well. Hey, professor, this is my idea, or this is what I want to learn a bit more about. Is there anybody that you think you would connect me with who passed out from our school working on the same thing? Or is there somebody that you know who you could connect me with? When you say, is there somebody that you would know, what they will do is they will do their homework. Okay, I know this kid, or when I worked, I know this person who's working at this particular company, so I can get them there. Or in case I don't know them, I will put out a message on the alumni network, and they are most likely to connect you with somewhere. They will send a message to an office, and that office will most likely connect you with somebody, or they will directly connect you with somebody, which is usually what will happen. And alumni networks are so powerful. Like if you look at top universities like Stanford and Harvard, these are so prestigious because, I mean, obviously these are top colleges for a reason, right? Because of the students that they produce and the graduates, the things that they go on to do after they graduate, and also a lot of people when they're in college, the things that they do. So and that's also one major reason why you want to join a good college, right? It's not only because of maybe the good city or a good party life or probably a good curriculum or good opportunities, but it's also the people that graduated from it, right? Harvard is not Harvard not only because it's ranked at top 5 in the world consistently from the past century, or because it's in Boston, it's a great student city, or they have so many faculties, but it's also because of the people that passed out from it. Bill Gates, when he passed out from Harvard, the value just kept on increasing. So the number of billionaires, Nobel Prize winners, the presidents, world leaders, sports athletes that came from Harvard, they just kept on adding on to that alumni network. So understand that that's the power that it holds. And I mean this when I say they are most likely to connect you with somebody. Okay, so if you're from Kriya and you want to probably innovate in healthcare, or you want to start your own sports management firm or something, just send out a very simple, clear email to, if you have an alumni association, to them or to a professor. I promise you they will get back to you, and they want to help you because you are their product, right? Once you go out, you are representing that school, whether you like it or not, because On your resume, that's what it reflects. On your profile, that's what it reflects. And your education, you're a product of their education. So they will do everything that they can to push you up. So that's why it's one thing that I see a lot in Indian students that they tend to oversee or that they tend to overlook, but don't make as much of use as you can from your alumni network. That's a great thing to do. Doing your due diligence. Due diligence is very simple. It's what you should do as an investor, what you should do as anything that you're doing before. Do your own research before you're sending out any message or giving out any request. That's simply what that fifth point is. Before you send out a message to your professor asking to meet with a particular alumni, a person from the alumni network, or anybody from the alumni network, this is what I want. This is exactly who I want to meet in case you want to meet a particular person. Or this is the company that I'm looking to get connected with. All right, be as clear as possible because you're saving them time. You know what you want, and when you meet that person, the conversation is clear. Okay, and it's also most likely that the person that you're meeting, they can also do their homework upon it, right? Because it's not always that they're going to stay in touch with that, or they might have a few things to add towards it, or you never know what the more prepared they are, the better it will be for you. So that's how you should do your due diligence as well. Make it easier for the other person connecting you with that particular person. LinkedIn, which we will talk about in the coming slides. But yeah, don't wait to make a LinkedIn account only when you're looking for a job. Okay, you can make a LinkedIn when you're in high school. You can make a LinkedIn when you're in college. You can make a LinkedIn after you're done with college, and you can make a LinkedIn when you're looking when you're fired from a job or you're not finding a job. But again, making a LinkedIn does not guarantee your job or guarantee your admission to a top university, but depends on how you use it. And we'll talk about it right now. Yeah, do not have a transactional mindset or approach. So what is a transactional mindset? I want to meet with Ankita and Shruti here because they're very good with hotel. They're very good in the hotel industry, and I just want to meet them because they've made billions of dollars over there, and that's all I want to do. And I will give them in return. I mean, that's very blunt. That's stupid for some if you do that. Okay, if you look at all of this whole process as a transaction, if you're making it materialistic, that's the worst thing. It's self-sabotaging your own chance of personal growth and professional growth. And in case you want to build an organization, again, worst thing you can do. Make genuine relationships that are meant to last and where people have interest to come back to you and help you out again in the future if it's required. So do not have a transactional mindset or approach. Don't do it. That's the worst thing you can do, people. All right. Don't even let that. I mean, we are human, so at times we get that. Just try to control yourself with that and have more self-conversation. The more you do that, you're most likely to avoid this. So how do you use your network? Because using your network is if not more important than building your network, right? Because you can have probably like let's take this example. You can have a cricket team that has like the best players in the world. 11 people starting on that team, which are the best players in the world. But if it's not coordinated properly, that's the worst thing that can happen. Even a team that's ranked at the bottom of the table can beat that particular team, right? If there's no good chemistry and if it's a completely batting dominated team or a team that cannot field properly or a team that is only bowling based, then people are going to know your weaknesses, right? But you're going to bleed it out over there. So do not bleed it out. Understand how you can use it. And the first step is to know yourself. So what do I mean by knowing yourself? What are my strengths, weaknesses, interests, and goals? Know yourself. How do you know yourself? You keep talking to yourself. We spoke a lot. I emphasize a lot about self-conversation and self-reflection right from the first slide. So that's how you use your network. That's the first step. That's when you understand yourself as well. I think I'm good at public speaking, but I enjoy talking with new people. And 6 circles here. And then at the bottom, it says you and a random person in the world. This theory, it's a theory. What it basically says is that you are most likely, or it is, there's you and to your sixth degree of connection, you will know them. So I know Meghana knows person 2 knows person 3, and so on. You're going to be connected to somebody in some random person in the world. They will know you or you know them. So that's essentially what the 6 degrees of separation talks about. So that is what that's how you use that. Take that, understand that, and use your network in the same way as well. I love this example. Let's look at Kanye West. Let's look at his starting of his career. He started off as a producer in like early 2000, late 90s. He was making beats, kept on making music, but he was never a rapper and never identified as a rapper. How did that happen? Over time, he grew so much that he made amazing beats that were so good that it helped renowned artists boost their career or revive their career, and it helped them win accolades and achievements as well. In the meanwhile, when Kanye was meeting new people, and they were getting him to meet new people. So that was within America, obviously, but then that happened right over there. Let's probably look at something like the Red Cross or an international organization. How do you think they have global networks or like that? That's because a person knows another person. It keeps on going on, right? It's like so many chains right over there. Like you, in your average lifetime, I think the statistics says that an average human being meets anywhere from 5,000 to like 30,000 different people throughout their whole lifetime, right? So, and some which you remember, some which you do not remember, some which you want to forget. So that's a different conversation. But right over here, that is how powerful this 6 degrees of separation is. So when you know how to use this, or when you understand that this is what happens, like this is essentially how we're connected as humans around the world, it's a good start. You know yourself with that. And a very important point that you understand after this is that, we're all human beings. Nobody's above this and nobody's above that. We're social beings. We talk, we communicate. That is what, and it's very similar. Everybody has a 6 degrees of separation. Even a person who might not even be on social media knows a lot of people, and they know that. So again, you don't need to have an advantage to be very good at this, is what I need to say with that. Yeah. Offer to help others first, and they will return this favor, is what we call as a universally agreed upon networking tip. Why is this universally agreed on, and why does a global majority agree upon this? Is again, this is not a transactional mindset that they did that with, right? Like I genuinely want to help somebody grow. They will return this favor to me. So probably let's take the example of somebody who works for Forbes. Okay, let's say that this person who works for Forbes is an editor, and you meet this person on Forbes, and you're a young entrepreneur. You're working on changing the veterinary lifestyle. So you probably want to make it easier for people to get access, or to make vaccination shots for their dogs and cats easier. And you work on something new over there, but you're having a bit of problem to get yourself some PR and get the word out. So you just happen to meet an editor of Forbes on a flight, and they're having trouble with their luggage, or they're having trouble with a kid or something like that. You offer them help out of genuine respect, or because it's a human that you see in trouble, and you want to just help another human. You don't know that this person's a Forbes editor, right? So that's why it's not even transactional in the first place. You get to talking. What do? I do this. Oh, very interesting. I really think that we should put this out in Forbes, because they know that you're a genuine person. They really like that. Boom, right there you have, you got your shot to get be featured on one of the most prestigious magazines in the world, or most prestigious platforms on the world. Right over there, that's a very long shot example again over there. Probably something even in high school. Let's just say that you're a kid who opens the door, who gets the door for the teacher, or who, in case something drops, and you just go and you pick it up, because that's just the way your parents raised you, or the family values that you've been brought up on, and that's just the kind of person you are. This goes a long way. The recommendation letters that they will write for you, or probably the extra mile that they are willing to go for you. I'm not understanding this. Can we stay back an extra couple of hours or not after school for you to teach? Of course they will, because they know what good of a kid you are. And again, it's like any organization, they're willing to play for you if you're willing to play for them, right? That's how it works. If Sachin was only given so much of importance and support, was because he showed dedication, and he was willing to play for Team India. He was willing to play for the Ranji team. He was willing to play for Mumbai Indians. He was willing to play for whichever team he went to, no matter what. That's why the team was willing to play for him so badly, even after he retired. So that's essentially how networking works upon as well. Is that it's a lot of humility and human values, right? Human mindsets that it comes down to. It's not It's not a subject that you learn in philosophy, or it's not a subject that you take to learn where you take down notes and all that. Obviously, you can do that, but again, 80% or at least 50% of the job will be done when you sit down and talk with yourself, right? That's why it's so great. That's why it's such an essential time to build your networking skills right now as a college student. You have a good challenge. And why am I saying it's a good challenge? Because when you're in college, you have a million things happening. You have a million things happening. Go to class, finish this assignment, probably complete your thesis or your dissertation, or maybe prepare for that mid-sem or for that final exam that you're taking. Pick a class to get to, maybe do an internship or start a side hustle, make more friends, travel a bit if you want to, like, if you're allowed to do that. So many things going on, and yet you still find time to do a lot of things. So that's why this is a great place to start, and that it's a very important place to start as well. In case you're thinking it's too late to start, you might still have one whole semester of college to start. So go ahead and start right now, right after we get off this call. Go ahead and start. Focus on becoming known and trusted instead. A long-lasting relationship is more beneficial to both parties. Kind of it is related to that first point. When they trust you, they are more likely to come back to you, right? Why do you think people have family doctors? Or why do you think that we have a particular place, when you're usually at a place, why do you keep going back to that person to get their service or product? Because that trust it's been built on over time. You know exactly who that person is, or you know exactly what goes behind that process, the dedication. And you are willing to give out your hard-earned money to avail that service or to avail that product, or you just want to support that person grow, right? So that's the long-lasting relationship that you're looking to build, something that's beneficial for both parties. I have a mentor of mine. I met her in 2021, and it was when I was interning at this student incubator. It's called Upkeep. It's based in Chicago, and what they do is they have a 6-week internship. Every week, it's based on a different theme. So, theme 1 on product design, week 2 on communication, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and all that, or public, confidence building and all that. So, in our last week, we had this particular lady who came and she spoke. She gave an amazing talk. No presentation whatsoever. It was just a casual Zoom call. Just a casual, with about 200 people from all over the world dialing in, everybody participating, by the way. So that's what she did. And then I went, after that call, I got on, I connected with her on LinkedIn, and then, we got on a couple of calls. I told her about a couple of ideas that I have, and she gave her feedback. And, right after that, we had a couple more, and I got so much of input from her, like how to manage my time in a better way, how I can build my personal identity, and how I can push this project forward, and what she thinks that we can do innovatively, or what she appreciates from us, and what the ideas that I was able to give, she was implementing a few of that. So that is what a long-lasting relationship is. I never went with the mindset of saying that, oh, she has so much following, so maybe she can tag me on a post and I can do this, because that's what a lot of people want to do right now. It's called clout. I think that's a TikTok phrase, but clout is basically, let me tag you. I have more followers, more likes, more comments. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is self-sabotage, right? You're digging your own grave for this relationship and for the long term. So if you're thinking in the long term and you really want to make it happen, make sure that you're always genuine and it's working both ways. Don't always be, givers are more powerful than takers, right? I think that's what it's something around that. I'm not sure if that's exact verbatim or word to word, but that's a very good way to understand this as well. So your last point, when you're doing all this, when you're doing a lot of things in college, and when you're following a lot of these steps, and when you put in the commitment, the time and hard work, you're growing your network, obviously, but you have to maintain the network. So maintaining network is very, very crucial as well. So maintaining network, how do I maintain a network? Think of it like this. You have a network of about 350 people, okay? In that 350 people, you identify 10 people as close, or 5 people as mentors, like people that you talk to on a weekly basis, or sometimes even on a daily basis, to give updates, to get answers, to gather, to just have more meaningful conversations, to get more research, to get more knowledge. You talk with them, and then probably to somebody that you met at a keynote address, or someone that you met at a networking event, you speak with them on a fortnightly or 15-day basis, or a once in a month basis, kind of like that. And then everybody else, you would like to report to them, or you would add them on LinkedIn or any other social media platform, and keep them updated about your whereabouts. And by whereabouts, I mean what you're doing professionally. Some new, if in case you want an award, you talk about it. In case you just completed a course at a different school, you would want to talk about it. You just graduated or you started a new job. That's how you update everybody within your network. And again, it's kind of like customer service. The more you maintain that rapport and you build that, the more it grows and the more value you get back to it. So that's when your social capital is being really valued, and that's when it's being valuated at as well. So make sure that you're growing and you're giving equal importance to maintaining your network at the same time. LinkedIn. So LinkedIn defines LinkedIn as a place where it's your professional identity. You can build and engage with your professional network, access knowledge, insights, and opportunities. So how do you, a lot of people nowadays are calling LinkedIn your digital resume. So that's why it says it's your professional identity, because you talk about where you studied, where you worked, what your interests are, what your skills are, the certifications that you hold, that you earn, and it talks a bit about you in your professional standard. You build and engage with your professional network. So you meet people, you connect with them over here, you stay in touch over there, and you make more connections like that. Access knowledgeable insights and opportunities. You can find jobs on LinkedIn. You can find internships on LinkedIn, research opportunities on LinkedIn. You can find a lot of news on LinkedIn, a lot of articles for you to read and for you to post on LinkedIn. So it's a great upgrade for networking, right? It's kind of like a one-stop destination for everything, but you don't get everything because you don't get the personal touch over there. But yeah, it's a great way to start, and it's kind of like it's never ending. You can't exhaust this whole platform here, because there's just so many people and so many opportunities coming your way, so many things to understand about as well. So how do I use LinkedIn? Show your experience. Where did I study? In case I was studying at I was studying at New York University. I graduated at the top of my class, dean's list, president of this society, started this initiative. Was able to do that. Talk a bit about that. Okay, talk a bit about that, because this is your, end of the day, this is your digital resume, and on your resume, you want to use keywords, not paragraphs or not sentences, but in probably 4 or 5 words, sum it up real quickly. Was able to put a blood camp which was able to impact about 300 immigrant, or 300 people that were devastated by a flood or something like that. So talk about, use numbers, talk about real achievements that you've done. And again, you've earned this, right? It's not that it wasn't a transaction that you looked at, but you earned this. So let people know what that is. Strengths. I'm good at public speaking. So maybe put that up on your skills and get endorsements for that skill. So LinkedIn has a feature where you have skills. You can talk about all your skills and people endorse you for those skills. What are endorsements? They are approval from other people, and they're basically people saying that I know that this kid can do it, or I know that this person is very skilled at this, so I choose to endorse this particular person for public speaking, or I choose to endorse this particular person for entrepreneurship, for software development, for Java, for C++, whatever your skill is. Make sure to put that right over there and ensure that people are recognizing that, and get recommendations. Get recommended by managers, by bosses, by professors, by clients, by people that know who you are and can genuinely speak about you. Because again, these are like mini personal recommendations. They're not exactly personal recommendations, but they go a long way. Like, they really do go a long way. It just talks about who you are as a person to work with. Your achievements, obviously, as we just spoke about with experience. You want to, let's say you won an award recently for, probably topping your school, or you won an international competition or a local competition, or even a competition within your university or high school. Put it out there. You want to put a post, or you just want to keep it under honors and awards, put that. But let people know, because again, this is your digital resume. Education and connect with people we just spoke about that. So with connecting with people that you know as well, again, don't just click on somebody's profile and click connect or follow. Rather, click on connect and send a personal message. So when you send a personal invite, hi Tarun, you spoke at this particular event. I really like what you spoke about, or I have a question about what you spoke about. Thank you for your valuable insights. I would love to be a part of your network. Or if you don't have any questions, hi, we met at so-and-so place. I would love to be a part of your network. That goes a long way. It really, really does, because you can put a name to this face, or most likely a message to this face, or a message to this name. That person is likely to know, they're likely to remember you for a longer time, or at least help you out when required. And again, it's human psychology, guys. Networking is purely human psychology. When you talk about someone, they're most likely to like you back, or they're most likely to give you better response. So do that. That's one personal tip that I would give. That's what I follow. It's really helped me out when I wanted to talk with certain people who were very well versed with their industry, and I had a lot of questions about certain aspects of the industry. So make sure that you send in a personal note. No harm in doing it. They ignore you, they ignore you. They get back to you, good. For the people that ignore you, probably find out with other people. There's millions of people on LinkedIn. It's fine. Report your achievements and accomplishments. We discover that. Share your thoughts and write articles. So it's not only about consuming content. And when you consume content, please make sure you're consuming good content. Right now, there's no proper good way to filter out, what's good and what's bad. And when I say what's good and bad, I'm not being like your mom. I'm just talking about try to find verified, okay, credible information. That's one crisis that we have to overcome right now as a generation. Stop the spread of false news and false interpretations and all that. So make sure that whatever articles you're reading and all that, it's verified and it's a good source. And when you do that, in the process, your knowledge increases. You put out your thoughts in the form of articles, in the form of LinkedIn posts, and sometimes it can get featured on LinkedIn news. So again, the goal here is to let people within what you like to know who you are. As a college student, this is what I'm doing, and for that, it's to spark curiosity and conversation. Purely for that reason. Do it for that reason. You're most likely to go. When you work with no results in your mind, you're most likely to overachieve your goal, and you'll only be focused. You'll forget about the goal, and you'll only be focused on your destination. A bit too philosophical over there, but yeah, do that. Do that with networking as well. Will really help you. Last thing, to find opportunities. So a good question that all college students have. How can I use my LinkedIn to find internships, or how can I use it to get jobs? How can I use LinkedIn first off as a college student? That last point is how you use LinkedIn. Reach out to people. So you have an option called jobs in LinkedIn. Go there, type out what you want, use your keywords. I want to find a marketing internship in Bangalore, India. I want to find a finance internship in Stockholm, Sweden. I want to find whatever it is. Use your filters. Do the advanced research, search tool over there. Make use of all that technology. Reach out. Do not only stop with sending in your application or your resume to that job, but take the extra mile, send in a thank you note, or send in a note, try to connect with the person who posted that job. Because again, correspondence, they know who you are. Okay, it's not like you get an unfair advantage for them to be partial towards you, but you never know. I'm not saying that every single time that you do this, it's guaranteed that you'll get it, but that's how you find opportunities on LinkedIn. When you connect more, when you engage more, it'll automatically come. And with that, we come to an end of this session right here. I hope you were able to learn a bit from this. And in case you have any questions or you would like to extend this conversation, I'm completely fine with getting on conversations like just to talk about this. Just write to me at teamprojectiful@gmail.com. I would love to get back to you. In case I cannot get back to you, my team, somebody from my team will get back to you. But they will most likely schedule a call with you and me, and we can discuss. We can just have our questions answered, or just have a simple conversation. And make sure to stay connected with us on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thank you so much, Meghna, again for having us here and for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you so much for accepting my request and then coming and then conducting such an amazing webinar here. I absolutely loved how you transitioned from a one slide to other, and it just, personally, I can't really listen to like a 1 hour talk, but yours I was fully concentrated, I was fully attentive, and I found it very helpful. And the last one, when you spoke about jobs and then applying and then reaching out to people who post that, I actually did that for a few internships that I applied to on LinkedIn, where I reached out to either the HR or the co-founder, and then you won't believe every internship that I applied to, whomever I reached out to, they reverted back to me saying you have been shortlisted. At least I got till the interview phase. Forget about getting the offer, but at least I got till the interview phase. They got back to me as soon as possible. So that definitely works out. And the best part was when you said happy sunshine at gmail.com. I couldn't stop laughing. That was a great example, actually. And yeah, every topic you covered, I've seen, it makes sense completely, and absolutely love your session. And also thank you for everyone who stayed back. And we will share all the resources and the presentation with you in an email.
All right, great.
All right, thank you so much.